sneaking up on us now.
Some people go into the forest for peace. Others come back with stories they can't explain. These 6 real camping encounters are disturbing, raw, and captured on film. Let's get into the first one. And be warned, it only gets more unsettling from here. The first video tonight comes from Creepy Travels, a US-based YouTube channel known for documenting unsettling travel experiences in remote and often forgotten locations. The channel focuses on real-world exploration, overnight stays, and the psychological tension that comes from isolation, unfamiliar terrain, and unexplained occurrences, rather than fictional storytelling. It is December 8th, 2025, in the Cumberland Plateau, United States, a remote wooded region containing the remains of an abandoned private campground, now largely reclaimed by nature.
I can't believe somebody screamed as soon as we walked down the trail. Wow.
As the adventurer hikes along an overgrown trail in fading daylight, they begin preparing a hammock setup near a secluded section of the old campground. The area is quiet, with no signs of recent visitors. Without warning, a sudden high-pitched scream echoes through the woods. The sound is brief but sharp, cutting through the otherwise still environment. It immediately startles the adventurer and shifts the mood from calm preparation to heightened alertness, setting an uneasy tone for the night ahead.
This is where I saw that person about right there in a black shirt walking when I stopped and looked. Oh. These mountains are full of natural caves, and every now and then
Later in the evening, while moving near a rocky bluff, the adventurer briefly notices what appears to be a figure wearing a dark top moving between the trees. The sighting is fleeting and indistinct, disappearing almost as soon as it's noticed. With no clear way to confirm what was seen, the moment reinforces the sense of isolation and the awareness that visibility is limited in the dense woodland.
he's 7 years old now. He was around 60, 58, 60 then. And he don't even know what this stuff is. He don't even have internet. He don't have a phone. He lives in a log cabin. And he described it. And since then, everybody's told him what they thought it was. And he said everybody calls it they got different names. They say a crawler, a skinwalker, or wendigo. But he said it was a human-looking body, but real skinny, stretched out arms, long fingers that was draping over his foot. And he shot his tent up with a shotgun, trying to get it and shoot. And he said it jumped up and ran back behind the tent. That's why he started just shooting through the tent. And he has...
The adventurer shares stories previously told by other campers who had stayed in the area years earlier. These accounts describe strange experiences involving an unusually thin, human-like presence seen near campsites late at night. The stories are presented as secondhand folklore rather than fact, but they help explain why the area developed an uneasy reputation. Hearing them while alone in the same environment adds psychological weight to the night, even without any direct encounter.
It'd probably be left out here like these. See how quick that is? Telling you, I'm hearing something over there moving around. Could be a deer or something, but usually deer or stuff don't give me that dread feeling. I don't know why I have that dread feeling.
While resting in the hammock near a creek, the adventurer is woken by subtle disturbances, branches falling nearby, water shifting, and faint sounds that are difficult to identify. No movement is seen, but the sensation of being observed lingers. The combination of darkness, isolation, natural forest noise, and earlier events makes it difficult to fully relax, turning an otherwise peaceful setting into a tense overnight experience. In reflection, the adventurer explains that while the hammock itself was comfortable, the night was mentally unsettling. The unfamiliar location, unexplained sounds, and the area's reputation made it hard to feel at ease. Despite moments of tension and uncertainty, no harm occurs, and the night passes without incident. The experience highlights how remote wilderness locations, especially those tied to abandoned history and local stories, can feel deeply unsettling even without anything clearly visible. The Cumberland Plateau is left behind quietly, but the sense of unease lingers, shaped by isolation, atmosphere, and the unknown rather than any single defining event. Imagine this: no phone signal, no one around, just the forest, and something moving in the distance. Would you stay the night or sprint back to your car without looking back? The next horrifying video comes from A Tiny Nomad, a solo travel and van life channel documenting minimalist, self-reliant journeys through extreme and remote environments. Much of the content focuses on cold climate travel, where isolation, weather, and preparation play a constant role. It is December 20th, 2025, in the United States, Alaska.
All right, we have officially got into this section where it's pretty nasty. This is just straight ice we're driving on right now. No bueno. Well, friends, we may not make it to Fairbanks today like I thought, because I did not expect this highway to be as bad as it is. It's bad. It was so good in the beginning, and now I'm just driving on ice. And I've never driven on ice like this before, so it's really taking my full attention, and I'm having to drive very slow. Right now I'm going 35 miles per hour. Four-wheel drive is helping out a ton. It's absolutely brutal, you guys. It's awful. I have been going about 45 miles per hour for a long time now, and nobody's behind me. That means that most people...
The journey begins under deceptively calm conditions as the traveler drives from Palmer toward Fairbanks. The winter roads are clear, traffic is light, and progress feels manageable. But the temperature is dropping fast, and small signs of strain begin to appear. Electronics falter, batteries weaken, and daylight fades far quicker than expected. Weather forecasts warn of snow and severe cold near Denali, introducing the quiet realization that the conditions ahead may be far less forgiving than they appear.
Negative 18 degrees. Ouch, this is the coldest weather I've ever experienced in my life. Kind of scared. We're scared. Ooh. Yeah, negative 18. It's frigid. It hurts my hands. Survivable though, for 5 minutes. All right, keep on trucking. Keep on trucking. I actually think it's supposed to get less cold as we make it to Denali, which is That's good news. Love that. Ginger is getting 20.8 miles per.
The road surface suddenly changes, turning into solid ice. Speed drops immediately as four-wheel drive becomes essential just to maintain control. Visibility deteriorates, and the risk of encountering wildlife, particularly moose, becomes a constant concern. With no other vehicles in sight, the isolation begins to settle in, transforming the drive from routine travel into focused survival.
Playing games with me because it is not getting warmer. It's turning colder. -24? What the heck? I mean, I get that it's gonna get that cold, but don't lie to me like that. Just tell me the truth. Well, we just passed the entrance for Denali National Park, and it's -20, so I don't know what is going on with that weather forecast. That is really odd. I'm gonna have to, I mean, I've looked at it like 3 times today, so I don't know why it's so different than what it actually is. I just Googled Denali National Park weather. So, we might be getting a cheap hotel, or a...
The cold starts to take its toll. Cameras fail, drone batteries freeze, and equipment becomes unreliable. Filming is no longer a priority. Maintaining movement and conserving power becomes the focus. The environment itself dictates what is possible, limiting both documentation and margin for error.
This is wild. There's a truck like 100 feet ahead of me right now. Cannot even see the truck. Super low visibility. Man, we're only 100 miles from Fairbanks. It's 10:21 a.m. Sun should be coming up soon, but I do not think we're gonna see the sun today. I feel like the road leaving Fairbanks is pretty packed down because I've passed a lot of people, but the road going to Fairbanks, my side, yeah, it doesn't look like too many people are driving on it. God, nobody is driving on this road today. Alright, the snow is letting up a little bit. Let's see if that actually lasts all the way to Fairbanks or not. I guess it wouldn't have been a true winter road trip without a snowstorm along the way, right? God. Well, that was just weird. There is this person following me, and I just...
Heavy snowfall moves in, reducing visibility to almost nothing. Progress slows behind snowplows, their spinning blades throwing dense clouds of white into the air. The highway loses all definition, becoming a narrow, featureless corridor where distance and direction blur together.
Pulled over to let them pass because that's what I always do, especially during weather like this. And when I went to pull over, they pulled over too, directly behind me, and just stopped. I was like, okay, I guess I'll just keep on going. So I keep on going. Car starts moving again too, and probably 5 or 10 miles down the road, I was like, I do not want this car behind me anymore. It's annoying. So I pulled into this rest stop that I'm at right now. They pull into the rest stop, get right behind me, park their car, and I'm just sitting here like wondering, like, what are they gonna do? Like, then all of a sudden they drive away, and then they turn around and start going the opposite direction. Honestly weird. Super sketch. It makes it even weirder, the fact that they didn't drive on and just keep on going the direction they were going, but they turned around. It's very...
Another vehicle appears intermittently, stopping and pulling over, in a way that mirrors the traveler's movements. The interaction is brief and unexplained before the vehicle turns away, but the moment underscores just how exposed and vulnerable the situation has become in the vast, frozen landscape.
30 more miles. We are almost there. Yes! Well, we are...
The final stretch into Fairbanks is navigated at a crawl. Snow covers everything. Visibility remains near zero, and progress depends on patience and restraint rather than speed. The traveler arrives safely, exhausted, and fully aware of how narrow the margin was. Alaska's winter conditions make no allowances for complacency. What begins as a manageable winter road trip slowly transforms into a test of endurance and judgment. Ice-covered roads, failing equipment, blinding snowfall, and moments of quiet unease combine to show how quickly isolation can amplify risk in extreme environments. Reaching Fairbanks brings relief, but the experience leaves a lasting reminder. In places like this, preparation and respect for the landscape are not optional. They are what allow you to leave at all. Sorry to interrupt the video, but if you're enjoying it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and right now, 80% of viewers aren't subscribed. So if you're one of them, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really means a lot. Your support helps us continue creating awesome, creepy videos. Now, let's get back to the video. The next chilling video comes from Exploring Gems, a US-based outdoor and travel channel focused on immersive solo adventures, van life, and discovering hidden, off-grid locations on public land. Her content centers on long stays in remote environments, quiet, self-reliant travel, and the reality of camping far from civilization, where isolation can quickly change the tone of a night. It is November 13th, 2025, in the United States, a remote mountainous stretch of public forest land that is partially logged, quiet, and rarely monitored.
It felt like freedom. Sure, there was the usual trash scattered around. There always is, unfortunately. But other than that, it was perfect. Just me and Jem, completely alone. For a couple of days, it stayed that way. Only the occasional logging truck passed by, and then we'd go back to our quiet little world. But by the weekend, more people started showing up. On our way back from our hike earlier that day, 3 blacked-out trucks came rumbling up the road. I stepped aside with Jem, gave a polite wave as they passed, and didn't think much of it. But that moment would end up leading to the scariest night I've ever had on the road. That evening, as the sun started to set, the same group started tearing up and down the road in their quads. Loud and obnoxious, yes, but harmless. At least at first. Jem and I ate dinner, locked up the van, and started settling in for the night.
After several peaceful days camping alone, the traveler settles into a secluded forest clearing with her dog, Jim. The area is largely silent, aside from occasional logging trucks in the distance. Earlier that day, 3 blacked-out trucks pass by as she returns from a hike. The moment feels odd, but uneventful. That evening, the same group begins riding quads repeatedly along the road near her campsite. Though loud and disruptive, it doesn't initially feel threatening.
Around midnight, just as I started to drift off, 3 loud knocks right at my sliding door glass. Someone just came knocking on my door in the middle of the national forest, so... So not cool. I froze. My heart stopped. I grabbed my phone to check the security cameras, but of course, it hadn't been plugged in. I peeked out through my bunk window cover. I couldn't see a thing. And those motion sensor lights I still hadn't installed, well, they're sitting right there on my dash. Regret hit hard in that moment. Then I noticed a faint glow up the hill and realized it was a fire, where the trucks from earlier had parked, during an active level 1 fire ban, mind you. And that's when it clicked. These weren't the kind of people you want to cross paths with in the middle of nowhere. So I just sat there, listening. Every sound outside felt amplified. For the next couple of hours, I barely moved. I watched, waited, and checked the cameras over and over. I felt like my heart didn't stop racing until the first hint of daylight. But they never came back, thankfully, so I drifted off back.
Around midnight, 3 loud knocks hit the sliding door of her van. She freezes. Alone in the forest, she reaches for her phone to check the security cameras, only to realize they aren't plugged in. Looking outside, she sees nothing but darkness. Moments later, she notices a faint orange glow up the hillside. A fire is burning in the same area where the trucks were earlier, despite an active fire ban. The situation suddenly feels far more serious.
By morning, I packed up and we drove deeper into the forest. Still a bit shaky, but grateful that nothing worse had happened. That night reminded me that van life isn't always sunsets and freedom. Sometimes it's fear in the dark and...
She remains completely still inside the van, listening. Every sound outside feels amplified as she waits, unsure if the group will return.
Go. Slept there last night, even though the intruding knocker scared the shit out of me, and
Daylight finally arrives. The knocking doesn't happen again, and no one returns. Though shaken and exhausted, she manages to rest once the light breaks. By morning, she packs up and drives deeper into the forest, unwilling to stay near the original site. The night leaves a lasting impact, not because of what happened, but because of how vulnerable the situation felt. She reflects on how quickly isolation can shift into danger when camping alone, and the importance of trusting instinct and leaving when something feels wrong. While the experience changes how she camps moving forward, it doesn't stop her from continuing to travel solo, knowing that awareness and timing are often the only real safety net out there. The woods are full of sounds, but it's footsteps that don't belong that truly rattle us. It's not creatures we fear most. It's the sudden, silent presence of another person, just watching. The next shocking video of the night comes from Rick and his van, a UK-based van life channel documenting solo travel, behind-the-scenes film set exploration, and atmospheric woodland locations. Rick's content focuses on immersive, real-time experiences, often blending quiet exploration with personal reflection as he moves through unfamiliar environments. It is November 11th, 2025, in Bourne Woods, Farnham, United Kingdom.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, another weekend, another film set. It would appear that Hollywood are in town filming a film called, it's a period horror called Werewolf. Oh, Werewolf. We'll get into this a little bit later on about me and werewolves, but this film has got that guy in it, Defoe, who was in Platoon, and it is a period horror clearly about werewolves, and apparently in this woodland they have built a whole village, and filming is about to start. Now you guys are gonna have to give me some credit here because I am absolutely petrified of werewolves, a story which I'll get into a little bit later on, but the plan for today is to go and have a little wander up there, go and have a look at the film set, see if we can see any filming taking place. Hopefully we don't bump into a werewolf on the way, and then find a park up for tonight, get some dinner on, and then go for a midnight walk in the dark Don't know why I'm doing this to myself. I really don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but later on I'll tell you the exact reason why I'm petrified and kind of believe in werewolves. But you can see all the signs there for the location, WW Cars, WW Crowd Cars, and that's obviously for werewolf. So we're parked up, let's go for a wander, see what we can see. I've heard this film set's pretty epic, to be honest with you. Let's go and have a mooch. Let's go for a walk. It's a long walk to get there as well. So stick with me. This could be an interesting video. Right, so here we are in Bourne Woods. Good setting. How spooky does that look? Let's be honest. Already. So there's a security geezer just down there on the gate, just checking people as they come through. But apparently you're allowed to walk through here if you want to, on foot. So films that they filmed here in the past. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, I can't remember.
Rick arrives at Bourne Woods to explore the filming location of an upcoming werewolf production. The set is extensive, featuring a full village layout, a large church, and a surrounding graveyard, all constructed deep within the forest. As he walks toward the site, he notes visible security presence, warning signs, and muddy woodland paths that make access feel restricted and uneasy. Rick reflects on the wood's long filming history, including Band of Brothers, Gladiator, and Jurassic World, commenting on how familiar locations can feel entirely different once dressed as something darker. The dense trees, quiet surroundings, and realistic structures create an immediate sense of tension as he approaches the edge of the set.
And they've also filmed Band of Brothers on this very hill. See if I can find the...
As Rick steps closer, he suddenly reacts and backs away, openly stating that the feeling is wrong. Nothing visibly happens, but the atmosphere alone is enough to trigger discomfort. The realism of the set, combined with the isolation of the forest, shifts his confidence almost instantly.
Oh, well. Bloody hell, look at this. They weren't wrong. Building the whole town. So you can see over there that they built this massive church with some kind of graveyard in it as well. That looks proper spooky, doesn't it? In the trees. Look, I'll show you. It's incredible what they can do, how they can make this look so different on the screen. I would love to come up here at night time and have a little wander around. I bet it looks really spooky at night. There's lots and lots of people around though. Don't know if we're allowed to film, but we're going to carry on until we're told not to. Oh my days, there is security everywhere. Just down there. Cannot go any further. Health and safety, because there's lots of moving vehicles and stuff like that. They've got forklifts and everything. Plus it's about that thick in mud. There's quite the operation going on. So there you go, the film is due for release on the 25th of December 2026. So if any of you watching this, and then you're going to watch the film, you've seen behind the scenes a little bit.
He cautiously moves toward the village and church, filming the graveyard and surrounding props. The attention to detail stands out. Aged stonework, realistic layouts, and natural placement within the woodland. Security vehicles and restricted areas prevent him from getting too close, but the scale of the set only amplifies how unsettling it feels in near silence.
Hanging up there, is that a skinned werewolf?
Rick comes across a skinned werewolf prop hanging from a tree. The sight visibly unsettles him. He explains that werewolves have always been a personal fear, and seeing the prop suspended alone in the woods hits harder than expected. The combination of realism, placement, and isolation turns a movie prop into a genuinely uncomfortable moment.
What the hell? I didn't like that at all. I'm going back. Going back. Didn't like that at all. Did not like that at all. Oh no.
Later that night, Rick leaves the van briefly for a walk. Heavy rain, mist, and darkness limit visibility almost immediately. He becomes disoriented, hearing movement in the surrounding woods and feeling watched. The anxiety builds quickly, and he turns back toward the van, choosing safety over pushing further. Rick explains that his fear of werewolves stems from a childhood cub camp prank involving a costume, something that still affects him today. While the film set itself is completely controlled and fictional, the environment, dense woodland, darkness, isolation, and hyper-realistic props, proves enough to trigger a strong reaction. He reflects on how atmosphere alone can create genuine fear, even when there is no real danger present. The video closes with Rick praising Bourne Woods as an impressive filming location, while acknowledging how easily the mind fills in gaps when familiar spaces are transformed into something unsettling. Some threats are obvious. Others drift silently through the dark, unnoticed until it's far too late. It's those shadowy, unseen forces that haunt us long after the sun comes up. The next video comes from Hoodoo, an outdoor adventure and survival channel focused on real-world wilderness experiences, including bushcraft, cold weather camping, and off-grid living. It is January 26, 2025, in a remote canyon and forested area in the United States.
Just a little top. I usually just throw my stuff on it. So hopefully this keeps us warm. I wasn't even planning on using this, but you got to use what you have. So if you guys saw my last video, we had a pad that was very similar to this one. This one's the same brand, I believe, but it's a double. So it's self-inflating. It's got a high R value, it's like 9. We're gonna let it inflate in here. It says it's pretty warm. It's still inflating, so it'll get probably about that thick. So I'm gonna start preparing to get the fire ready. That way we can get some of this ground dried off here, and then we can start cooking dinner. It's getting cold fast. Let me grab my thermometer. Right now it's reading 14. Oh, that went up fast.
I think we need bigger logs. I think we need big logs. Because this stuff I think is going to last us a while. It just burns so fast. I think we need a little bit more big size stuff so that it stays.
Right now the temperature is, it says it's about 16 outside, but in there it's 28 degrees. So our shelter's actually working really good. What is for dinner, you might ask? We brought a pizza from Walmart and we're gonna cook it on a little grill that we have. So that should be super good. I'm excited for that. But we're gonna let the coals die down for a little while and then we're gonna start cooking our pizza. We just found our double chair in the car thanks to her. I totally forgot that we had that. Just getting warmed up.
It's 10 degrees at 5:30. Shoot, it's getting cold fast.
Did you guys hear that owl? The last video I did got super dark, so we're testing out some new lights.
-1 degrees.
Give it a couple more minutes. It was about this time that we heard the first.
The couple arrive at a remote canyon during midwinter, with temperatures dropping to around -12 degrees Fahrenheit, -24 degrees Celsius. They begin preparing for the night by collecting firewood from burned trees and constructing a makeshift bushcraft shelter using wool blankets, a tarp, snow, and a backpacking pad. A fire is built to combat the cold, and they cook pizza directly over the coals before settling in. The surrounding area is completely isolated, with no nearby camps or visible activity. The silence, combined with the extreme cold and limited escape options, creates underlying tension long before anything unusual occurs.
We heard two guys way off in the distance yelling. I thought they might have been at my car. We were only a couple 100 yards away from it, and it came from that direction. I walked over to my car, but no one was there. But I did see the lights of a truck off in the distance, and it was parked and it was running with only the cab lights on. I didn't film this part because I didn't think much of it, and it wasn't a very big deal. All right, we're gonna take our pizza off. Very hot. It's very burnt on the bottom.
It might just have a little bit of a smoky flavor to it.
Very burnt.
So it's so cold that when Brian opened his drink, it immediately exploded and then froze. And there is nothing left.
Show us the bottom, Soraya.
And look how much it is burned.
I tried another one and it just blew up.
Like all over everything.
And it's freezing before it hits the ground.
Can you drink all of it? Oh.
It's weird. You can tell how cold it is by how the snow sounds. It almost sounds like a plastic or something. So it's about -12 outside of the shelter. The inside of the shelter we're reading 6 degrees. At this point, it was quite a bit later than when I first walked down to check on my car. We were just sitting around the fire, and we kept hearing these two guys talking. I kept seeing this truck drive around in the field with its lights off. It started to make me feel a little bit uneasy because they'd been doing this for about half an hour. They didn't have a campfire going, and they seemed to be up there for no reason. And this isn't some popular camping spot. It's January, and it's -12 degrees outside. To get to this place, you need to take kind of a slick road up this canyon, and it's not the easiest place to get into. Then once you get up to this flat area, you need to get off of the road and onto some ATV trails and drive another half mile or so.
In the distance, the couple hear yelling and notice a truck parked far off, its cab lights illuminated. At first, the presence seems incidental, but the vehicle remains stationary longer than expected, drawing their attention.
Camp. And when they pulled in, they turned off their lights and slowly crept near our car. My immediate thought was maybe these guys think we're in trouble, and maybe they think that we need help or something, or maybe they're just coming to check to see if we're okay. Once this truck got to where we had parked our car, they started shining their brights at us, and they turned off the light.
The truck begins moving toward their parked car, with its headlights off. It stops only a short distance away, before briefly flashing lights toward the camp, then going dark again. The deliberate use of darkness immediately raises concern.
Turned out and took off. This was a turning point for me. If these guys had good intentions, why did they burn out of here trying to run away? And why were they trying to sneak around so much? Here's the video footage we got of this.
These guys' lights completely off.
Really close to it though.
Okay, so sorry it's kind of dark, but he sat right there for like 5 minutes. He came like feet away from my car, like right here. And then I shone a light at him and he took off.
We're in the middle of nowhere, like super far from town.
All right, so I was just following his tracks a little bit. He chucked this out the window. I don't know what this guy's deal is, but I might follow him out, make sure he leaves.
Well, he kept shouting like stuff at us too. I don't even know what. We couldn't really understand.
See, this guy's coming towards us now. So we're gonna get in the Jeep.
Yeah, they turned back around. They're coming this way. They're coming up around us, like on the other side.
Once we got in the Jeep, we waited for them to come. I wanted to be in my car just in case they came back, so if we needed to, we could leave. And once they saw my car was on and that we were inside, they turned.
As the man approaches his vehicle wearing a headlamp, the truck suddenly accelerates away, only to return shortly after. It circles the area while shouting indistinctly, using lights inconsistently. The repeated approach and withdrawal behavior makes it clear the vehicle's occupants are monitoring them.
Backing up to leave, and we heard a car door shut, and then a little while later, I heard footsteps outside of our camp a ways, but it sounded like these guys were trying to sneak up to our camp with their lights off. So Soraya's hearing these guys sneaking up on us now with their lights off. Like, this is not normal, so we're gonna get out of here. We're not gonna be filming as much, we're just gonna be safe and get out of here. But then we heard them turn around and get back in their truck.
Coming back and forth, turning their lights off.
I've spent hundreds of nights outside, and like I'm totally fine camping next to people. Heck, like I lived in a van and was like constantly around people, constantly in campsites and stuff. When people act like that, it's best to just leave. It's just not worth it.
Don't know what they're up to. We'll get the rest tomorrow. That way we can get out of here fast.
Moments later, this is what happened.
Okay, I don't know if you can see, but they're driving right over to us again. Luckily, Brighton has a pistol, packing our stuff out, and now they're watching us. They can tell us that we're here because our lights are on. Here's the Jeep. Oh, they're coming towards us, Brighton.
While hurriedly packing to leave, footsteps are heard near the camp, followed again by approaching lights. The couple retreat to their vehicle. The truck makes one final approach, with someone claiming they were lost, before finally leaving the area. The couple leave immediately, acknowledging that while the individuals may not have intended harm, the behavior itself was unsafe. Repeated circling, moving without lights, and approaching a remote winter camp late at night violates basic backcountry norms. The experience reinforces a core wilderness rule. When something feels wrong, especially in isolated terrain, extreme cold, and darkness, leaving is the safest decision. The night ends without confrontation, but the encounter leaves a lasting reminder of how vulnerable even experienced campers can be in remote environments. Before the next clip, if you're enjoying the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and right now, 80% of viewers aren't subscribed. So if you're one of them, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really means a lot. Your support helps us continue creating awesome, creepy videos. Now, let's get back to the video. The last video of the night comes from ParaQuest UK, a UK-based paranormal investigation channel known for calm, respectful ghost hunts and real-time communication attempts using EMF meters, K2 devices, pendulums, and trigger objects. It is July 22nd, 2021, in Pluckley Woods, often referred to as the Screaming Woods, United Kingdom.
Cross that log to the other side?
No. really wants it to fall.
I've got the camera running everything, come on. Just think of the numbers.
I'm thinking of my legs. I've survived for the last 48 hours, not getting injured. I want to keep it that way when I get out.
All I see is your light at the camera. You've got your headlight
What am
on.
I going to do? Oh, right, yeah. Hang on.
Adam,
Yes.
I think your
That's it.
screen's just cracked some more.
Don't look at
Is
it.
it? Well, have you aimed it at
I
Ricky?
can't tell by looking at it, but I definitely heard a crunch.
Why are you shouting?
Oh, sorry.
Because I'm miles away, that's why.
Sorry, Adam.
What? I might sit on the log. I'll sit on the log.
We'll be your friends. Angry. Who's angry?
Can you still see the other bits?
Well, if I pan round to there, yeah.
I'll move along. Oh, I'm going to get my bum. This is not a good idea.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right, get me those rocks.
On reflection, if I get pushed either way, I'm done. Oh, marvellous. I've got no signal at all now.
Your meter's going.
My meter. Excellent.
See. Okay, and I'd just like to remind any spirits, energies or entities that are here, we are out of the greatest respect for you. We'd just like to do a bit of communication, that's all. We are respectful, we mean you no harm. We are friendly. My name's Adam. If you like to communicate, if you like to show some communications, I'll have some devices sitting on this log. All they would do is light up, and one of them will make a sound. Nothing will hurt you in any way.
Adam Southen and the ParaQuest UK team move carefully through Pluckley Woods, negotiating thick mud and uneven ground that slows their progress. They stop beside a fallen log to establish a base point and begin setting up equipment. Adam clearly states their intentions, explaining that they are there respectfully and mean no harm. The forest remains active with natural sounds, but nothing immediately stands out. The mood is controlled and measured as the investigation begins.
Form is just detection to tell us, give us a sign, give us some sort of indication that you'd want to come and talk to us. Okay? So with that in mind, I'm going to switch my K2 on, see if we can get any, can you see that?
Entity present.
Okay. There are any entities that would like to step forward tonight, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do so now.
Continue.
Okay. I'm going to give you the opportunity to do so now, to come and talk with us. As I just said, we are friendly, we are respectful, even Ricky. And all we'd like to do is just to have a bit of communication, that's all we're asking. Alright, and as I said, my name is Adam. Okay, so if maybe you could tell me yours. I also have a little device on the log here. This will help for any communication. Okay, so if you want to give me a name of some description for this little box. Pardon?
Killer.
Killer. Have you got your pendulum tonight, Tina?
I do.
Wonderful, okay.
Died. Can you give me a name?
Okay, if there's any spirits here that would like to step forward and give us any sort of signs.
Can you give me a name?
I've got 3 of these little balls. And they light up when you touch them. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
Good. They will light up when you touch them. Okay, so we're going to give you the opportunity tonight to come and give us some indications that you're willing to communicate with us.
Is that Dean? Is your name Dean?
K2 meters and light-up trigger objects are activated. Adam invites any presence to step forward and communicate. The devices respond sporadically, brief flickers and isolated activations, suggesting awareness, but no sustained interaction.
Sounded like essence. Oh, essence.
I was like, really?
Would anyone like to step forward? Is that your torch? Okay. Anyone that would like to step forward and come and give us an indication.
What date is it?
What's your side?
What date is it?
Mine said Cam.
What is it today? 15th?
I don't know.
Yeah, 15th of May.
Yeah, 15th of May.
15th.
I was going to say 1974. 2000 and what?
2020, yeah, 2021 it is.
Thank you, 2021. What year are you from?
any entities that are present. I also have a little device on this log that you can talk through. Actually, no, you won't, because that's the SLS. I don't want to get anything. Let's try that. Okay, so I'd just like to remind you there is a device right in front of me. This will not hurt you in any way, shape or form. It's not harmful. It's just an aid of communication. Giving you any opportunity that you like to come forward and talk to us.
Heaven. Would you like to go to heaven?
I thought heaven was a place on earth.
Short, unclear responses continue. Some signals appear to reference animals, though the meaning remains uncertain. The team attempts to clarify the communication, but the interaction feels fragmented and difficult to interpret.
If you're angry at one of us for being here, can you give us a sign?
Why are you angry? Always. Well, what do you mean by that?
What did it say, Adam?
Always.
Always angry.
Jungle, this is like jungle.
Later in the investigation, the equipment begins repeatedly indicating anger. Adam questions who is angry and what has caused it. The atmosphere shifts noticeably, feeling heavier and more emotionally charged than earlier in the session. Adam reflects on the inconsistency of the communication throughout the night. While early responses were vague and non-committal, the later indications of anger stand out as a clear tonal change. The team remains calm and respectful, acknowledging that Pluckley Woods often delivers unpredictable and emotionally charged responses rather than clear answers. They leave recognizing that while no definitive explanation was captured, the forest once again proved to be an uneasy and reactive environment. Thanks for watching. If those 6 encounters rattled you, be sure to give the video a like and subscribe for more creepy content every week. The next mystery might be even darker than this one.